Hey there, want to discover how our brains actually impact the financial choices we make? Well, you're in luck. By decoding the fascinating psychology of money, you'll gain access to some truly invaluable insights. Trust me, it's definitely worth exploring. If you want to navigate the complex world of money with wisdom, caution, and success, it's worth exploring the lessons we've learned from behavioral economics, emotions, and human biases. They can help you better understand how to manage your finances. Here are lessons from The Psychology of Money by Morgan Housel. Lesson number 1: Financial success and money habits. Financial success is all about the little things we do every day to manage our money. These little habits, known as money habits, play a big role in our overall financial well-being. Yeah, being smart is definitely helpful, but it's not the only thing that determines how well off you'll be financially. The important thing is to develop good financial habits. These habits cover a lot of different actions like being careful with your money, saving up, making smart investments, and managing your debts responsibly. Yeah, you really need discipline, consistency, and financial literacy for that. What makes financially successful people stand out is their knack for exercising self-control, being patient for rewards, and being able to adapt to economic changes. Realizing that our financial habits have a bigger impact than just being smart is a really important step towards reaching financial success. If you understand and consciously change these habits, you can set yourself on a path to better financial security and success. Lesson number 2: Unique perspectives on money. Money is something that's super personal and different for everyone. It's influenced by lots of things like how we were raised, our culture, what we've been through, and what we want in life. So people end up having their own special viewpoints and connections when it comes to money. It's important to understand that these differences don't automatically mean that someone is irrational or crazy when it comes to their financial choices. Instead, they show how different people have different experiences and priorities. It's important to respect other people's choices and viewpoints when it comes to money. It's not just about being polite, but also recognizing that our financial decisions are influenced by a variety of factors, like our values and circumstances. I think it's important to remember that we all have different ways of handling our money. Even if we don't always agree with someone's financial choices, it's helpful to approach the conversation with empathy and understanding. This way, we can have healthier discussions and create a more inclusive environment for everyone. Ultimately, this will benefit everyone's financial well-being. Lesson number 3: Let's talk about luck and risk in finance. When it comes to finance, success is a complex thing that depends a lot on how luck and risk work together. Yeah, it's true that even with all the careful planning, informed decisions, and hard work, luck can still have a big impact. It's really interesting how things like market fluctuations, unexpected windfalls, or setbacks can have a big impact on our finances, no matter how knowledgeable we are about money. It's like we can never really predict what's going to happen. Also, there's always some level of risk involved in any financial venture. It's just part of the game, But what really matters is how people handle and reduce that risk. It can make a big difference in whether they succeed or not. It's important to acknowledge that both luck and risk play a big role in our financial journeys. It helps us have a more balanced and realistic view of things. It's all about staying humble when unexpected things happen and remembering to be careful with your finances. By recognizing the influence of luck and risk, people can approach their financial goals with a better understanding. This helps them prepare for the uncertainties that often come with financial pursuits. Lesson number 4: The dangers of always wanting more and never feeling satisfied. When people are constantly chasing after money and stuff, it can really trap them in this never-ending cycle of always wanting more. And the thing is, it can leave them feeling unsatisfied all the time. Yeah, having that mindset of never enough can really mess with your mental and emotional well-being. It's not a good headspace to be in. Always wanting more can actually make us feel stressed out, anxious, and like we're not good enough. It's because we tend to judge ourselves and our success based only on how much money we have. Also, when we constantly compare ourselves to others in this never-ending pursuit of material possessions, it can make us feel envious and chip away at our self-esteem. If you want to be truly happy and content, it's important to stop obsessing over material things and start focusing on what really matters. That means valuing things like meaningful relationships, personal growth, good health, and memorable experiences. It's important to realize that being happy doesn't mean you have to be rich. When we understand this, we can escape the constant pressure to buy things and instead discover a more satisfying and well-rounded life. It's really interesting how true abundance isn't about how much money you have in your bank account. It's actually about the incredible experiences you have and the meaningful relationships you build in life. Lesson number 5. Let's talk about the amazing power of compounding. It's pretty mind-blowing, trust me. The power of compounding is an awesome financial principle that shows how doing small, consistent things can have a huge impact over time. It's pretty amazing. Oh, I see. So compounding is when the money you make from an investment or savings account gets reinvested, which then leads to even more growth over time. It's pretty cool how it can make your money grow exponentially. To tap into this power, you'll need a few key ingredients: patience, consistency, and making smart financial choices. First and foremost, it's important to be patient because the effects of compounding really show up over a long period of time. If you stick to your financial goals and let your investments or savings grow steadily, you'll make the most of compounding. It's all about staying committed. Consistency is just as important, Making regular contributions to your savings or investment accounts, even if they're small, is a great way to keep the funds growing steadily through compounding. It's the discipline to continue these contributions over the years that amplifies the compounding effect. Making smart financial decisions is really important. It's like the last piece of the puzzle that completes everything. If you invest in assets like stocks or diversified portfolios that have the potential for higher returns, it can really boost the power of compounding. Also, it's important to minimize any unnecessary fees and taxes so that we can protect the gains we make through compounding. In general, the power of compounding is really impressive. It shows us how valuable time is and how we can grow our finances by being patient, consistent, and making smart decisions. Whether you're saving for retirement, an education fund, or any other financial goal, it's important to understand and use this principle. It can really make a difference in your financial future and help you achieve long-term security. Lesson number 6. The difference between getting wealthy and staying wealthy. Yeah, the path to becoming wealthy can be quite different from the path to staying wealthy. Becoming wealthy usually involves taking some calculated risks and keeping a positive attitude. Entrepreneurs, investors, and business leaders are usually willing to take risks in order to make a lot of money. Oh, they've got a vision, and they're not afraid to take risks on opportunities that others might be hesitant about. Optimism can really fuel the creation of wealth, It's a powerful motivator. But you know what happens once you've got a bunch of money? The whole situation changes. To stay wealthy, you need to have a different mindset. It's all about being cautious and having a bit of a pessimistic outlook. It's all about making sure your wealth is safe and well maintained. This phase is all about being smart with our money, reducing risks, and making sure we can keep going strong in the long run. A lot of rich people tend to be careful with their investments. They spread out their money across different things and come up with plans to keep their assets safe in case the market goes down or something unexpected happens. Managing wealth effectively involves more than just making money. It also means thinking about the future and planning for things like estate planning, tax optimization, and other financial strategies. These steps help ensure that your wealth is passed down to future generations in the best possible way. Being too confident and taking too many risks can actually put your hard-earned wealth at risk. It's really important to be more cautious once you've achieved wealth. Basically, becoming wealthy involves two main steps. First, you need to have a positive outlook and be willing to take calculated risks to build up your wealth. And second, you must be careful and responsible with your finances to maintain and increase your wealth in the long run. The key to achieving long-lasting financial success is finding a balance between these two phases. Lesson number 7, the role of tales and rare occurrences. It's really interesting how stories and rare occurrences play a role in the financial world. It just goes to show how unpredictable life and financial markets can be, don't you think? Sometimes these really rare and unexpected events, like those black swans people talk about, can have a big impact on how things turn out financially. Yeah, it's really hard to predict these kinds of events, and they can end up having a big impact. When it comes to personal finance, rare things that can happen include unexpected health issues, natural disasters, or suddenly losing your job. These events can really mess up your financial stability and show you how important it is to have an emergency fund, insurance, and a solid financial plan to handle unexpected situations. In financial markets, sometimes crazy things happen, like market crashes, economic recessions, or unexpected geopolitical stuff. It's pretty wild. Events like these can really shake things up and cause some serious losses for investors who aren't ready for them. Diversification, risk management strategies, and taking the long-term view are really important for dealing with all this uncertainty. It's important to understand that life and financial markets can be unpredictable. Yeah, it really highlights how important it is to approach financial planning with humility and a bit of caution. It's impossible to predict every single rare thing that could happen, but it's always a good idea to be prepared for the unexpected. This means making sure your personal finances and investment portfolios are strong enough to handle unexpected challenges and market ups and downs. Basically, recognizing the significance of stories and unusual events reminds us how crucial it is to be adaptable, manage risks, and have a well-rounded and flexible financial plan. Lesson number 8, freedom in financial choices. Financial freedom is such an amazing thing. It's not just about having a ton of money. It goes way deeper than that. It's all about having the ability to shape your life based on what you truly value and aspire to, without being held back by money. It's about being able to pick a career not just for the money, but because it's something you're passionate about and find meaningful. It's all about having the freedom to spend time doing things that truly make you happy, like exploring different parts of the world, cherishing special moments with the people you love, or making a positive impact on society. Financial freedom is really important because it acts like a safety net. It helps make sure that unexpected challenges don't get in the way of your dreams. Yeah, it's really important to remember that there's more to life than just money and possessions. It's all about finding meaning and fulfillment in other aspects of our lives. Yeah, you're absolutely right. Smart financial planning and saving are super important when it comes to achieving financial freedom. But at the end of the day, it's all about creating a life where money is a tool that helps us live better, grow personally, and follow our passions. Lesson number 9. Hey, have you heard of the man in the car paradox? It's a pretty interesting concept. There's this paradox called the man in the car that really highlights a common mistake we often make in society. We tend to try to impress others by showing off our wealth with fancy cars or extravagant purchases. It's like we fall into this trap of thinking that's what really matters. This kind of behavior might make it seem like you're successful, but it often ends up causing financial stress and, ironically, a feeling of emptiness. When people engage in conspicuous consumption just to fit in and be validated by others, they run the risk of getting caught up in a never-ending cycle of comparing and competing with others. The interesting thing is that even though people might admire or envy those who show off their wealth, it doesn't actually lead to real happiness or long-term financial stability. Yeah, they can actually lead to a lot of problems, like getting into a ton of debt, feeling financially insecure, and always feeling the pressure to keep up with everyone else. So, to solve the man in the car paradox, we need to change our perspective and start valuing our own personal fulfillment instead of seeking validation from others. So basically, it's all about making sure your financial decisions match up with what you want and believe in. You just have to resist the pressure to fit in with what society expects, and instead make choices that truly make you happy, give your life meaning, and help you financially. If you steer clear of comparing yourself to others, and instead follow a path that truly aligns with your own desires and priorities, you'll discover more happiness and financial stability. Real wealth isn't about the fancy car parked in your driveway. It's about living a life that reflects your values and brings you true happiness. Lesson number 10. Wealth is what you don't see. It's an interesting concept to consider, don't you think? There's this saying that really hits the nail on the head when it comes to our society's obsession with material things. It goes, wealth is what you don't see. And honestly, it's such a profound truth that it often gets overlooked. It's important to remember that true wealth goes way beyond just having fancy things or a high social status. Yeah, it's really important to have financial security. It's like having a safety net for when life throws unexpected challenges at you. That's when you know you're truly wealthy. It's like having peace of mind, you know? You can sleep soundly at night, knowing that your financial well-being is totally taken care of. But you know, what's really interesting about wealth is how it can actually give you the ability to live a life that's truly meaningful and fulfilling. When you have wealth and use it wisely, it gives you the freedom to follow your passions, contribute to the community, and prioritize experiences instead of material possessions. It's like a reminder to not get caught up in chasing after things just for the sake of showing off. Instead, it's about focusing on building a more meaningful kind of wealth that not only brings joy to your own life, but also makes a positive impact on others and the world as a whole. Basically, true wealth means feeling abundant on the inside. It's when your financial resources match up with what you truly value and want in life, allowing you to live a fulfilling and purposeful existence. Lesson number 11. The importance of saving money. Saving money is crucial when it comes to achieving financial well-being and building wealth. You know, there's this really cool principle that I think is super important. It basically says that being financially successful isn't just about how much money you make, but also about how you manage and use that money. It's all about being smart with your income and making it work for you. Saving money is super important because it's like a solid foundation for your financial security. When you make it a habit to save a portion of your earnings, it's like building a safety net for yourself. This safety net comes in handy when unexpected financial surprises come your way, giving you the confidence to handle life's uncertainties. Saving money is really important because it's the foundation for building wealth. When you save, you can invest that money to make even more money and increase your assets. It's a great way to grow your wealth over time. Saving goes beyond just accumulating wealth. It helps you develop good financial habits, gives you a sense of control over your money, and brings you peace of mind. By saving, you can live a life that's driven by your own dreams and aspirations, rather than being limited by financial limitations. Basically, saving money isn't just about finances. It's a smart way to plan for your future and have more freedom and stability in life. Lesson number 12. Comparing ourselves to others. You know, it's really interesting how we humans have this natural inclination to compare ourselves to others, especially when it comes to things like money and achievements. It's like this tendency is deeply rooted in our culture. We usually assess how well we're doing financially by comparing things like our income, net worth, or social status to others. But constantly comparing ourselves to others can actually be really harmful to our emotional and financial health. Yeah, I totally get what you're saying. Social media has this way of making us feel envious, insecure, and constantly inadequate because there's always someone out there who seems to have more than us. Also, it can make us have false hopes and make impulsive financial decisions because we want to keep up with what we think our friends are doing. I think it's better for us to look within ourselves and focus on our personal growth, values, and dreams. It can lead to a healthier and more fulfilling life. I totally agree. I think true success and happiness should be based on what we personally want to achieve and what we believe in, rather than what others think or what society expects. If we set financial goals that really matter to us and focus on always getting better, we can feel happy with our own progress instead of constantly comparing ourselves to others. This way of thinking helps us appreciate things more, find personal satisfaction, and feel secure about money, all of which ultimately make our lives more genuine and satisfying. Lesson number 13. Rethinking success and happiness. This concept really makes you think about how we define success and happiness, doesn't it? It's a powerful reminder that our society tends to prioritize money above everything else when it comes to measuring achievement and well-being. Yeah, I totally agree that being financially stable is crucial for a comfortable life. But you know what? Success and happiness go way beyond just money. These complex and personal ideas mean different things to different people. When we redefine success and happiness based on what we personally value and aspire to, it helps us escape the pressures of society's expectations. It's all about looking at different aspects of life, not just money. Things like having meaningful relationships, personal development, staying healthy, and being part of a community are also important. It understands that true happiness can come from following your passions, making a difference in the world, or just being content in the here and now. When we stop worrying so much about what others think and start prioritizing our own happiness, we can start living a life that truly aligns with what we want and believe in. This way of thinking can actually help us live a more genuine and fulfilling life. It means that our success isn't measured solely by how much money we have, but by the meaningful moments we have and how well we stay true to our beliefs. In the end, when we redefine what success and happiness mean to us, it gives us the power to live more fulfilling lives with a sense of purpose. Lesson number 14, expecting the unexpected. You know, expecting the unexpected really captures a fundamental truth about life, especially when it comes to money and investing. No matter how hard we try to plan our finances and manage risks, unexpected events and financial surprises are bound to happen. When we accept this reality, it reminds us to approach our financial journey with humility, recognizing that everyone experiences financial ups and downs at some point. It reminds us to be careful and think carefully about our money choices. It's all about having a financial safety net and making smart decisions. Also, it's important to remember that setbacks are totally normal when it comes to managing your finances. Resilience plays a significant role in bouncing back from those setbacks. Resilience is all about not just getting through tough financial times, but also taking the opportunity to learn from them and come back even stronger. Lastly, it's important to be adaptable because our financial strategies and goals might need to change based on what's happening around us. In general, it's important to remember that life's financial journey is full of surprises. It's always changing and can be unpredictable. By being humble, cautious, resilient, and adaptable, we can handle whatever comes our way and navigate through the ups and downs. Lesson number 15, leaving room for error. When making financial decisions, it's really important to remember that we should leave room for error. This means that we need to keep our personal identities separate from our investments. It's all about making sure we don't let our emotions or personal biases cloud our judgment when it comes to managing our money. When emotions take over and become the main factor in our investment decisions, it can really mess things up. If we tie our self-worth or who we are to how well our investments perform, we might end up making hasty decisions based on fear or greed. Yeah, it's actually better to make financial decisions based on clear goals and a well-thought-out long-term plan. That way, you'll have a solid foundation to rely on. This approach is really great because it helps us stay disciplined and not make quick changes based on what's happening in the market or short-term trends. Diversifying our investment portfolio is a smart move because it helps us reduce risks and improves our chances of reaching our financial goals. Basically, when we leave some room for error, it's a reminder that we should make our financial decisions based on logic, caution, and what's best for our long-term financial health, instead of letting our emotions take over. Lesson number 16. Let's talk about embracing change. Embracing change is all about being flexible and adaptable when it comes to financial planning. You know, it's pretty common for people to not fully realize how much their lives, goals, and financial situations can change as time goes on. I totally agree that financial plans should be flexible and adaptable because change is bound to happen. A flexible financial plan is great because it lets you adjust things as your needs and preferences change. This means that you might need to make changes to your savings goals, investment strategies, and spending habits as life changes. For example, if you start a family, switch careers, or retire, you'll need to adjust your financial plans accordingly. Being open to change means regularly checking in on your financial priorities and goals to make sure they still match up with what you value and want in life. Embracing change doesn't mean you have to give up on being financially responsible. Instead, it's about creating a strong financial plan that can handle life's ups and downs. Yeah, it's all about recognizing that life is always changing, and being able to roll with the punches is a key part of being smart with money. If you're open to being flexible with your financial planning, it can really help you navigate through life's changes and feel more confident about your financial well-being. It's important to adapt as you go through different stages in life. Lesson number 17. Being true to yourself. Making financial decisions while staying true to yourself is a really important principle. It means putting your own passions, skills, opportunities, and dreams first, instead of letting things like peer pressure or societal norms sway you. It's all about prioritizing what truly matters to you. It understands that when it comes to personal finances, it's essential to make choices that align with your own values, goals, and situation. When people make financial decisions that truly reflect who they are, they're more likely to find meaning, fulfillment, and success in what they do. This principle is all about being true to yourself and following your own financial dreams. It could mean pursuing your creative passions, starting a venture that makes a positive impact, or choosing a career that aligns with your interests and skills. It's important to listen to advice from people you trust, but when it comes to financial decisions, it's really about following your own gut feeling and making sure it aligns with what you value. When we stay true to ourselves in financial matters, we can live more fulfilling lives and make better choices for our future. It's all about being informed and making sustainable decisions. Lesson number 18. Nothing is really free. You know, when it comes to money, it's important to remember that nothing is free. It's a way of saying that every financial decision or investment comes with a cost or some kind of risk, even if we don't see it right away. There are always trade-offs when it comes to investing, like the potential for loss, transaction fees, opportunity costs, and the time and effort spent researching and managing finances. This principle basically says that it's really important to make smart financial decisions based on research and analysis, instead of just going with your gut or making impulsive choices. It's important for people to really understand the risks and potential rewards of their financial choices. It's important to have a diversified investment strategy to lower risk and be ready for the ups and downs in financial markets. It's important to realize that nothing is free when it comes to finances. But don't worry, by adopting a disciplined and research-based approach, you can confidently navigate the complexities of the financial world. It's all about being prudent and making informed decisions. It's important to stay alert, keep learning, and make decisions that support our long-term financial goals. Sometimes, this might mean giving up instant rewards or dealing with temporary setbacks, but it's all for the sake of our long-term financial health. Lesson number 19, being reasonable and rational. Being reasonable and rational in financial matters is a smart and empowering principle. It encourages us to think independently and critically about our money choices. It's all about not just going along with the crowd or giving in to peer pressure when it comes to money. Everyone's financial situation is different, you know. It's all about your goals, how much money you make, what you spend it on, how much risk you're comfortable with, and what's going on in your life. What works for one person might not be the best approach for someone else. This principle is all about making sure you really think about your own financial needs and goals. If you're reasonable and rational, you can create a financial plan that fits your unique situation and goals. It's all about making informed decisions, seeking professional advice when necessary, and staying true to your financial goals instead of trying to keep up with others. In the end, this approach gives people the power to take charge of their financial futures. It helps them make choices that are best for them and work towards reaching their own financial goals. Lesson number 20, the seduction of pessimism. The seduction of pessimism is all about how people tend to lean towards a negative mindset, especially when it comes to money matters. It's a common cognitive bias that the book explores. Yeah, I get why some people might see pessimism as a safer choice. It's like a way to protect yourself from potential risks and losses. But you know, it's important to remember that being overly pessimistic can actually hold us back. We might end up missing out on some great chances to grow and achieve financial success. It's really important to find a balance between being cautious and staying optimistic. It's all about finding the right balance between being realistic about risks and being open to the potential rewards of smart investments or financial decisions. If we let ourselves get too caught up in negative news or fear, we might end up missing out on chances to grow personally or build wealth. In financial planning, this principle basically says that having a diverse portfolio is important. It helps protect you from bad things happening in the market and lets you take advantage of good things. It's also really important to remember to think long-term when it comes to your finances. Instead of getting caught up in short-term market changes or negative feelings, try to stay focused on your overall financial goals. Avoid making impulsive decisions that could throw you off track. When people strike a balance between being cautious and optimistic, they can make smarter financial decisions. This can help them achieve more stability and growth in their finances. Lesson number 21. What happens when you believe anything? What happens when you believe anything is all about how crucial it is to stay skeptical and curious when it comes to financial information and stories. In today's world, with so much information available, it's really important to not just believe everything we hear or read without questioning it. Instead, you should approach financial information with a critical mindset. So one important thing to remember is to steer clear of confirmation bias. That's when we only look for information that supports what we already believe and ignore anything that goes against it. It's important to stay open-minded and consider all the evidence. This bias can actually make us make bad financial decisions because it might make us ignore helpful insights or different perspectives that could help us make better choices. It's really important to stay open-minded and be willing to consider different perspectives. So basically, you need to actively look for different sources of financial information, take into account different perspectives, and really think about how trustworthy those sources are. Just a friendly reminder that when it comes to financial matters, it's important to keep an open mind, question your assumptions, and always be willing to learn and grow. If you're skeptical, curious, and open-minded about financial information, you'll be able to make smarter financial decisions. This will help you achieve better financial outcomes and a deeper understanding of the complicated financial world. In its most basic form, the psychology of money investigates the significant influence that emotions, biases, experiences, and values have on the monetary choices that we make. It places a strong emphasis on the value of self-awareness and provides helpful insights for making better decisions about one's finances. This book dives into the complex link that exists between psychology and finance, demonstrating that the elements discussed here often have a greater impact than simple analytical prowess or an understanding of the market. It imparts onto us the knowledge that obtaining monetary success is not only about amassing cash, but also about securing one's happiness and finding one's life's purpose in addition to monetary prosperity. Overall, the book offers useful tools and timeless advice to help readers confidently navigate the complicated world of finance. It also encourages readers to engage in self-reflection and make decisions that are influenced by that contemplation. Hey, if you learned anything from this video, please consider giving it a thumbs up, forwarding it to your friends, and subscribing to the channel. Thanks. Keep checking back for more interesting content as we continue our march toward financial literacy and independence. We appreciate your joining us on this adventure so much.